It's South by Southwest, and the sun is up, so that's supposed to mean that we're supposed to be doing stuff. But here as we get into the early afternoon, some of us still feel like it's early morning.
Yeah.
But Alan Wilkes here of Big Data has already done a gig.
Yep.
Tell us about it.
Well, we played at 8:30 a.m. this morning, which is early for music.
That's unfairly early.
That's like criminal for
That's
music
not right.
people. But, it was actually really fun, and there were a lot of people there. So
Over at the W?
It was at the W Hotel.
Super cool.
So,
Swanky.
yeah.
Okay, now we got to get this out of the way.
Shoot.
We've been all through a couple things, and not to be superficial, but we're hung up on something about the band's name.
Okay.
All right, it's Big Data. We're told by the folks in charge.
Sure.
First question is: does Big Data bother you if someone says
That doesn't bother me. Some people say there technically isn't a correct pronunciation.
That's where I was going.
I think I've done some Googling on the matter.
Yeah. It's one of those rare English words that is cool both ways.
Totally. I say data mostly because of Star Trek.
Hey, I love that. Wow.
Right?
I suddenly like you a lot.
Yeah, there we go.
Very cool.
But apparently saying data is more common in the UK, and saying data is more common here.
Right on.
I still think that data is the right way to say
That
it.
makes sense.
Yeah.
So my next question about the name, which is equally superficial as far as the music goes, does your name derive from the technological industrial term Big Data?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
How so?
Well, okay. So it's sort of, I got the name in the summer of 2012, way before I put any music out. I had just started to sort of record the early beginnings of the first couple of songs, but I didn't have any lyrics yet, and there was no concept or anything like that. It was just the beginnings of some instrumental stuff, but I was trying to find a name, and I went to my friend from college's wedding, and he is a sort of preeminent big data scientist, like an actual tech nerd guy.
Right on.
And he kept talking about his career and talking about big data over and over. And at that point, it wasn't like a ubiquitous term the way it is. Like you see big data literally everywhere now, but back then it was not everywhere. And
it's a ubiquitous term, but it's also kind of a nebulous term. It's
yeah,
hard to,
totally.
It's hard to really wrap your head around what
absolutely,
it means.
Totally. So it kind of, I mean, most importantly, I like the way it sounded, but it also just sort of immediately started making me think about this conceptual stuff, and it just sort of felt sort of, I liked it, and it made me think about stuff.
Right.
So that was kind of how it started. And once I had the name, then
and
all the
fit
songs.
what you were doing musically.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, because I was already making sort of weird electronic music. So, yeah, it just kind of, once I had the name, then the concept started to sort of form.
Cool.
Yeah.
So still talking tech nerd stuff here, but getting a little closer to the reason you're sitting here.
Hey, I'm a nerd, so.
No, you're a musician. You can be both.
Okay.
The album titles are cool. I like the
Thanks,
1.0. The 1.0.
Sure.
1.5
Oh, yeah.
is not a new piece of software. It's remixes.
Exactly.
So we're coming up just here in about a week, actually.
Yep.
On 2.0.
Indeed.
So 2.0, I think, that's not a tweak.
That's a full-on operating system overhaul.
Yes.
Yeah.
Does that reflect on the music?
Yeah, I think so. I hope that I've evolved. I hope that I've gotten better at making music in the last 2 years or whatever. So yeah, that's how I think of it. Like every album is hopefully an upgrade or like
an upgrade.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I love it.
Yeah.
So what we did here is that now the track Dangerous, the great big hit, which is great.
Yeah.
Super
cool.
Collaborative effort with Joywave,
Indeed.
who actually are in town.
Yep.
Are you going to get to run into those folks?
I hope so. They're good friends of mine. Yeah, I love those guys, and they're amazing. If you haven't seen them play, they're amazing.
I haven't.
They rock. You should see them.
Right on. Well, they're going to be right here about the same time tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
So there's at least one point of reference where you can ambush them.
Sweet. All right. Yeah.
Very, very good.
So yeah, I love them to death. Dan is an amazing singer, amazing writer. Yeah, we wrote the first 4 Big Data songs. We wrote them. We wrote all the lyrics and stuff together. So
super cool.
So yeah.
So 2.0 is you're continuing the collaborative aspect of your music. We hear that that other nerd guy from Weezer is going to be involved.
Indeed.
How cool is that?
It was really surreal and really cool. He's like,
tell me how did it come about?
Well,
Rivers Cuomo.
Once I started to think about the album, I kind of just made a wish list of like, who are the top 10 pie in the sky people to work with, and I he was pretty high up on the list. And I've been a fan since I was a kid, and I could go on and on about Weezer. I don't need to do that right now.
Tell me about when you got your yes from Rivers
Well,
Cuomo.
it was kind of the first sort of positive was we got an email back from his manager that was like saying I could see him being into this. Like he saw the video and he was like, I bet this is up his alley. So that was the first like maybe something will happen, but I wasn't holding my breath. And then a few months went by, and then we wound up being on there were 3 festival days in a row where we were on the same bill. So that was the first time I actually got to meet them. And I met all the band. They were all so nice, and
they got a chance to see what you're about.
Yeah. And funnily enough, Rivers went back. I was at Harvard undergrad when he came back.
Right, famously.
To finish.
Yep.
So we were there at the
Weezer
same
on
time.
hold to go back to school.
Pretty much, yeah. So we had that immediately to kind of laugh about. And we were both English majors.
Well, I'm seeing why he said yes.
Yeah,
now.
so there you go.
Pretty clear.
Yeah.
Awesome. So, one last question, and we'll let you go.
Shoot.
And you brought up Star Trek, so I have to bite.
I'm not like a fanatic. I'm not going to be good at this.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are.
I'm really going to.
Don't break my dreams.
Let's try. But
what's your favorite series? Your favorite?
Oh man, I don't know. I'm not a Star Trek fanatic.
You don't know?
I don't think I've seen anywhere close to enough to like really give you a.
A lot of it, frankly, sucks.
Okay.
A lot of it beyond Next Generation is highly questionable.
Okay.
So, you should say Nimoy, man. You should say Spock.
Well, definitely, but I don't want to say stuff unless I really know it,
I applaud your honesty.
All right.
Although I kind of wish you'd patronize me a little bit, but it's okay.
What, for being a Star Trek?
Yeah.
Dude, I want to be a Star Trek fan. I need to basically have like a month where all I do is watch Star Trek.
You got to sit down. Okay.
And that's been on the to-do list.
I'm going to recommend
years.
season 3 of Next Generation.
Okay. All right.
Season 3.
Start there.
Perfect. Awesome. Alan Wilkus, Big Data, pleasure.
Thank you very much for having me.
You're welcome.
All right.
You understand